I don't want to be here anymore, man.
I support.
I don't want to be here, man.
Shit. What's that line from The Breakfast Club? If I come back in here again, I'm cracking skulls.
All right. Welcome to We'll Fix It in Post. Old ass movie reviews. I'm your host, Don Vegas.
I'm Joe Sonnenblick for the third time, fourth time. I don't know what this is. But we're going to do The Breakfast Club eventually, folks. But
a couple of takes.
This has been a problem for Don. So, we're doing Indigenous Peoples Month, Native American Month. And the first film we're doing is Jim Jarmusch's Dead Man, 1995. We were both talking about it before. The second film we're going to be doing next week is Last of the Mohicans, which neither one of us have seen. Well, we have seen it, but we don't remember it. We saw it when we were very young. And then we have Powwow Highway and we have Cheyenne Autumn, which neither one of us has seen. So we're very excited for this month. This is actually a fresh month of film. And then December is going to be whatever the fuck it's going to be. We have no idea what December is going to be. Though I am going to throw out a film right now for December called 29th Street, which I know you've never seen. It is a great Christmas movie. A great New York Christmas movie. Amazing. Danny Aiello, Anthony LaPaglia, fucking amazing. Look it up. I think you will really enjoy it. Yeah, Dead Man, Jim Jarmusch, 1995. We'll get into it right away because we did this so much that we're going to die. So the synopsis: on the run after murdering man, accountant William Blake encounters a strange Aboriginal American named Nobody who prepares him for his journey into the spiritual world. I don't think it's a great synopsis. Don thinks it's a great synopsis. Tell us why. Tell us why.
That's what happened.
That's all you need to know.
What the fuck do you mean?
That's what it is. Well, it is right in on your tits.
What
the
happened?
Tits are there. There they are.
God.
Like two Lego McGriddles. Eggo McGriddles.
Literally what occurred. What more do you want from a movie?
So much tits.
From what occurred.
So much man boobage that I couldn't even see. Do you have trivia? Do you have what happened in 1995 and you don't care?
Do I?
Oh, no.
Take a wild guess. If you was to think, what was the number one most craziest thing that happened in 1995 off the top of your head?
1995. Well, OJ was 94.
Wrong.
I know that.
OJ was 95, you fucking dummy.
Oh, he was?
He was found not guilty on murder on October 3rd. That's
that was
right.
94.
Nope, you know nothing. So that happened.
Is that it? Is there more?
It's going month by month. All right.
Oh, you're doing this on the fly.
January 1st. We're going to start with the first.
No.
Goes up pretty much day by day sometimes.
Not again.
Yeah.
Got flashbacks of last review.
Don't like that one. Don't like that one. Don't like that one. Super Bowl. San Francisco 49ers.
Denver Broncos?
Against the Chargers.
No. Yeah?
Yeah. 49ers beat the Chargers.
Like 55-3, right?
No, it doesn't say that. Let's see here. What else? Danny Boyle's directorial debut, Shallow Grave. William McGregor, released in UK cinemas. Colin Ferguson opened fire on the Long Island Railroad in 1993. He's convicted of 6 counts of murder. Yada yada. Okay, that happened. All right.
He was black.
He was?
Yeah.
Can't prove that.
Israeli
Minister Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated.
Wow. Pronounced correctly.
The Oklahoma City bombing back in 1995.
Pronounce that correctly. Who bombed it? Who did it?
The white man.
Timothy McVeigh with Terry Nichols.
Was he white?
Yes, they were both right. White, yep. Right and white. Ooh, excuse me. Uh-oh. Somebody's in their feelings.
So much fruit water over there.
It's a Drake song over here, bitch.
Yeah. What else we got here? It looks like Toy Story came out in 1995. Yeah.
I don't get why people like Toy Story, the franchise.
Because you've been miserable since you were born. That's why you don't get it.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Michael Jackson returned.
Michael Jackson.
Jordan returned to the NBA in 1995.
Yeah, after realizing he just couldn't play baseball.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
Didn't figure it out.
Invented and developed before their official release for sale.
Do you still have DVDs?
No, I haven't seen a DVD in God knows how long.
Oh, I have many DVDs.
I only have...
I want to guess what your DVDs are.
The only things that I have with...
I want to guess.
The only things that I have that are circular with a hole in it are bagels, donuts, or something else that is none of your business.
Well, I mean, I was going to say something inappropriate, but I won't.
Cock ring?
I was just going to circular with a hole in it.
Oh, excuse me. Not that.
Excuse me. Excuse him, gentlemen.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Mm-hmm. Playboy magazine became legal again and returned to the shelves in the Republic of Ireland. Cool.
Something else I never understood.
Only
Playboy magazine.
Yeah, I was never really into it. So, PlayStation came out in 1995. That was dope.
Okay. Stop. We're going to get into a small debate.
Yeah.
The greatest video game system of all time is what?
I feel like you're going to say either Dreamcast or Nintendo 64. I feel like you're one of those.
Nope.
Please don't say Atari. Don't be a fucking loser.
No.
Sega Master System.
What's wrong with you?
Genesis.
No.
You're asking me, or you just saying like?
I'm telling you. I know what I know. What my answer is.
All right. So my answer was the greatest one. I mean, I really did like Sega Genesis. I got a lot of more memories with that than anything, I think.
So we're essentially the same age. I think you're like 5 months older than me. That's it. But PlayStation 2 is the answer.
Oh, so you wanted to go more contemporary, not far back.
No, yes. PlayStation. Well, my second.
I was talking about around this time, like what was available in.
No. I'm just saying in
PlayStation 2, yeah.
PlayStation 2.
That's the last video game system I had. I've never had a system since.
Really?
Never.
Wow, that's wild. So, and I know. I understand that, but I have to say, you missed out on something I know you'd love, which is Red Dead Redemption. You would love Red Dead Redemption.
There was only a couple games that I was ever tempted to buy a system. That was one of them. Spider-Man was one of them. And even though they're not great, but the Street Fighters and the Mortal Kombats, I always thought those looked really cool.
What's wrong with either one of those genres?
They're not great. And the Mortal Kombat storyline got so it got convoluted. It's kind of
nothing's a storyline anymore. Nothing is a story. Nothing's a campaign. You have to think of everything as a paywall and everything is multiplayer. But that's why Red Dead Redemption was, in my opinion, 1 and 2. 2, most assuredly, is the greatest game ever made. There is nothing even remotely close to it. But I will say, for the top systems, PlayStation 2 is my number 1. My number 2 is SNES. Super Nintendo changed my life.
Yeah, sure.
There was nothing like Super Nintendo. Absolutely nothing. And one of the greatest games ever for Super Nintendo was a game called Dr. Franken, where you were a stoner Frankenstein. It's all platformers. Super Nintendo was all platformers. There was a stoner Frankenstein going through a house just getting like battery packs for his neck and shit. Great fucking game. fantastic game that now costs $200 to buy for some odd reason. I don't understand why, but beside the point. PlayStation 2, Super Nintendo. Go ahead.
Moving on.
Yes.
The internet was privatized after U.S. government funding for the name.
Fuck you, Uncle. Your own life. I wouldn't have known about porn if it wasn't for you.
The MLB strike ended in 1995. The average cost of a new house was $113,000. The average person's income per year was $35,900, which today's average is somewhere around $87,000.
Which is crazy because nobody makes that.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right. Where?
There's rent way cheaper, $550 a month.
But $550 a month inflated.
Right. So it's like, yeah, but
it's now.
Because even back then, $550 a month sounds nuts.
Yeah, all you fucking idiots saying like, oh, rent used to be $202 in 1982. Well, what was $202 in 1982? You morons.
Mariah Carey was a big deal.
Oh God, I fuck her.
Most watched. Never went into Mariah Carey. Goosebumps was one of the most watched TV shows.
Are you afraid of the dark, bitch? Never Goosebumps, bitch.
The .com era truly began. So we started seeing game-changing sites like eBay, Craigslist, Match.com, and many more.
.gov, bitch. Never done.
.net.
Oh, that's it. Besides,
motherfuckers don't even know how to code, cuz.
You never knew how to get unemployment in 1993.
Windows 95 was in August of 95.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. But let's see.
Stop sending me the discs.
It's enough.
Lord, do you remember as a kid? 42 discs.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had to download all of them.
You had to learn how to slit somebody's throats with those things, man.
Steve Fawcett set a new record. American aviator Steve Fawcett completed the first ever solo trans-Pacific balloon flight. Yep. Forbes magazine named Bill Gates as the richest man in the world.
Still.
His net worth was approximately $12.9 billion compared to his estimated $114 billion fortune today. Amazon's Jeff Bezos has the top spot now.
Oh, is it?
Kendall Jenner and quarterback Patrick Mahomes was born 95. Jessica and Michael were the most popular baby names.
Awful. Oh, shout out to my buddy Michael D'Elia, past birthday, November 6th. Sorry, bro.
Bad name, good guy.
Well, his name's Michele, but it's Michael.
Yeah. City of Mumbai, India had its name officially restored. That's nice. The Bosnian Civil War ended. Yada, yada, yada. Oklahoma City bombing.
Yada, yada, yada. Oklahoma City bombing. That's funny.
Yeah.
I wonder how those people in Oklahoma felt after yada, yada, yada.
Not the bombing.
No, that's tough. That's .gov. Yeah. All right. So, Dead Man, 1995. Did I do the synopsis already, or was that just the last one?
That was in one of the other tapes.
Oh, okay. Okay. On the run after murdering a man, Accountant William Blake encounters a strange Aboriginal American named Nobody who prepares him for his journey into the spiritual world. I didn't love this synopsis by IMDb. Don did. I just still don't see why. But that's okay because the movie's about much more, in my opinion. Do you want to elaborate on why you don't? Your microphone's broken again. It's like a fucking devil dog.
What?
That's loud.
Too loud?
Yeah, loud. Okay, so the trivia. I only got 2 because IMDb was giving out spoilers, and I didn't want to remember what I had not seen since I was 25.
Better.
Yeah, better. Nobody can be heard several times to exclaim Hutka or Hutka, and according to Farmer, it's not an actual word, but slang for what the fuck or simply fuck. The movie contains conversations in the Cree and Blackfoot languages, which are intentionally not translated as subtitled for the exclusive understanding of members of those nations, including several in-jokes aimed at Native American viewers, which I thought was cool, because Jarmusch is that guy.
Nice.
Jarmusch will never be weird. But there was also one, John Laurie, who was in Jarmusch's film Stranger Than Paradise, Down by Law, Night on Earth, I believe, I don't want to get that wrong, said that he sent the script similar to this to Jarmusch in 86 or 87. Never heard back from Jarmusch. But they're good friends, though. And then 8 years later, this was made. I don't know how true that is. That's just John Lurie saying that. You know. I can hear myself, Don. I can hear myself talking.
Having a hard time. Going on, man.
Not great. I don't know what you did, but before I couldn't hear myself, and now I can hear myself. So lower your microphone a little bit.
No.
Yeah, you could just leave. That's fine. I'll do it myself. He killed himself.
How about now? Can you still hear yourself?
Can I hear myself? No. Good. But yeah, good.
I don't know. I don't get it.
So, I don't get it either. Paid for this, and now it's just all. You know, some people pay for things, it just gets worse.
It's so hard, man.
It's so hard. I'm gonna fuck my wife. Okay. Cast. Director is Jim Jarmusch. William Blake is Johnny Depp. Nobody's Gary Farmer. Cole Wilson is an awesome Lance Henriksen. John Schofield is John Hurt. John Dickinson is the great Robert Mitchum. Sally Jenko was Iggy Pop. Charlie Dickinson is Gabriel Byrne. Big George Draculis is Billy Bob Thornton. Johnny Pickett is Eugene Bird. Conway Twill is Michael Wincott. Neil Young does the score. And the score matters in this film.
It was interesting.
The score or the film?
The score.
Both. Oh, the score was great. Neil Young, perfect. Okay.
That makes sense now. I didn't do any actual research. So
good.
That little nugget there, that made a lot of things make sense.
I also think
do that through the whole fucking movie.
I also think this was Neil Young's super experimental period. This is when he made an album called Zuma with Neil Young and Crazy Horse, 1995-ish. He was on tour with Sonic Youth, if I'm not mistaken, around this time. Could have been 93 to 95. So he was trying to reinvent himself electronically with guitars and pedals and stuff like that. But this really felt cohesive in a way that didn't break up the film, in my opinion. I like Neil Young a lot. Neil Young's released like 30 albums. 15 are great, 15 are bad. That's a pretty good, output if you've got that many albums. Is this score going to change your life? Nah, it's not. But he said he did this on the fly. He sat and watched it as it was happening and had a couple of pedals and a couple of guitars and did this thing. And I think it works.
That feels like somebody was just doing
which is but that's what Jarmusch wanted. Yeah, that's what Jarmusch wanted too. He said, according to Neil Young, he said very minimal. Super minimal.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yeah, that was it was reminiscent of some scores of like what's this fucking director's name?
Don't say Sergio Leone because it wasn't.
No, it was reminded me of some Sam Raimi. Not Sam Raimi. Who did not what's the one with the guy with the zombie? He had
George
the
Romero?
not George Romero, not that old. Fuck, the dude that had a chainsaw for a hand.
Sam Raimi.
That is Sam Raimi's movie.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like the type of scores that he would put in his films, that it kind of gave me that energy.
You think of Evil Dead is what you're saying.
Evil Dead, yeah.
Yeah, Sam Raimi. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I could definitely see going back further to like Gene Autry Western, like heavy country Western, but also putting a lot of electronics into it. Like I said, Neil Young and Jim Jarmusch talked a lot about this. Jim Jarmusch felt that this was going to be his most important film, and he wanted to do it the right way. And Neil Young at the time was not popular. And Jarmusch always uses people that are sort of like fading. Like that's why Iggy Pop's in this film. He always uses people that are sort of fading to remind you that fuck you, man. These people invented American music, even though Neil Young's Canadian, but they invented a style. Jim Jarmusch also directed a documentary about the Stooges, which is Iggy Pop's band. I cannot. I had the name in my brain. Gimme Danger. Gimme Danger was the name, and it was a good documentary. It didn't blow my mind, because I knew all these things about the Stooges, but it shows you what elegance there is to these people's music. And Neil Young, in my opinion, top 5 songwriter of all time.
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty universally understood.
No, it's not. People hate Neil Young.
Really?
People fucking hate Neil, and I don't
I
understand
can't act
it.
like I've ever listened to him enough. That I say that because that's not the first time I've heard that sentiment. It's not something I'm speaking of experience. But
Neil Young has said things that have just changed my life, and I think being a cultured human being, 1970s after the gold rush would put some doubt in your brain, and it's important. It's important doubt. Really great, proving music. That album, 1970s after the gold rush. Yeah. So we'll get to the film. It is preferable not to travel with a dead man. That's a Marceau quote. Great quote at the beginning of the film. Did you feel that quote carried the weight of the film, or did you feel that
it was a
foreshadowing quote?
It was a big time foreshadowing. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, okay, I see what's going on here immediately.
But you could also say that the dead man was nobody.
Say again?
You could also say that the dead man was nobody based on that quote.
No.
All right. You could. And that's the problem.
Nope.
Blake on the train, everyone staring but minding their own business at the same time. I thought that was great to go through each fixture of the train as you're going through each part of the country. Jarmusch's cutoff style framework, big Murnau guy. Big FW Murnau guy.
What does that mean?
Nosferatu, Don.
Ah, yeah. We did that.
Yes, he did.
It stinks.
All the intervals are of the ride here for Blake, who sees the boredom of the Old West at hand. Each terrain brings out its own individual on the train: trappers, tourists, lawmen. It's also no shock he's named William Blake. This is hell. This is nothingness. The whole beginning is to signify he's going where no one travels except for the fringes of society.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 TPs that sit abandoned and rotting is the white man's burden. We could go back to The Shining. We can go back to really every American film. I mean, so if an English director directs an American film, is it an American film?
As long as it's based and about the subject of America, then yeah.
Okay. Great line here. Doesn't this remind you of when you were in the boat? Great line. Why is it that the landscape is moving but the boat is still? Another great line. These are the questions we ask ourselves as kids, was what I wrote. Why are we moving? Why are we not moving, but everything is moving around us? Because he's not yet who he becomes. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't like boats.
I don't know what that has to do with what I just said.
I guess
Not sure. Crispin Glover is objectively creepy and everything.
Yeah, he's a concerningly creepy person.
Just like in everything. And
why was he so dirty?
he was the fireman at the
Oh yeah, that's
beginning
right.
of the train.
I remember
He
that.
was
He wasn't
putting
going
all
to
the
the
coal
hospital.
in the train.
Yeah,
So at first I was like, I missed it too. I was like, oh, what the fuck is Jim Jarmusch doing at first? And I was like, oh, okay. Has a job at the end of the line. All the hunters and trappers start killing buffalo on the train for the government, as was the decree at the time. They were everywhere over the Great Plains. Town of Machine, which I thought was very interesting, a very interesting title for a town. It could be a nod to Sophie Treadwell's play Mackinac. It's a more built-up town than most in the Old West, still destitute, but still sort of built up. I mean, it's brick building, a lot of brick buildings.
Yeah. So it's been there for a while, it would seem.
Or, which we'll get to, that the Dickinson building runs the town, and they just build everything.
Oh yeah.
All the animals are doing something. If you notice when Depp is walking through the town the first time, all the animals are doing something. They're walking. A couple animals are fucking. A couple animals are like howling. A guy getting a blowjob in the alley points the gun at Blake. That guy getting a blowjob was Gibby Haynes from the Butthole Surfers. Great band, early mid '80s, late '80s, early '90s. Jarmusch friends, great band. The Metalworks clearly runs the town. Is what I wrote. The letter was postmarked 2 months ago. I found that funny. So that's where my theory for it being like the Mackinac, which is a play I was in college, stood true. The desks are apart. Everyone laughs at the same time. Everyone is sort of robotic in that space. So I felt that it was the same. You would like the Mackinac. You should read the Mackinac by Sophie Treadwell. Came out in like 27, 26. She was totally outcast, Sophie Treadwell. She was a lesbian. She wrote this play about male futility in the office way. It was very good. Very good play. The setup to talk to Dickinson is great. With John Hurt and Blake saying, I want to talk to this guy. John Hurt laughing and everyone laughing.
This is postmarked 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You should have been here a month ago.
Yeah. And then the guy coming out who's clearly not fit to be the accountant, being the accountant was very funny. Robert
that is a weird thing though. Like
meeting the person who replaced you?
No, literally. I mean, so it was postmarked 2 months. I mean, all right. I guess if it took that long to get to you, because how long he came from Cleveland, and where does this take place?
It's got to be California.
It didn't take that long to get there by train.
You don't know that.
A couple days.
In like 1905.
Even quicker because there's less things to go around.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Robert Mitchum, one of the greatest to ever do it.
He looked scary.
He was so scary. And what's even scarier is Robert Mitchum in front of the painting of Robert Mitchum. That was fucking cool. Where did you get that clown suit? In Cleveland? Doesn't even know he's from Cleveland yet. Says, where did you get that clown suit in Cleveland? Great line. I couldn't walk in mud. Oh, so I said, I'm saying this is me. I couldn't walk in mud in these old West towns, could you? I'd be miserable all the time. Could you walk in mud?
I mean, if it's the normalcy, then no, you wouldn't be miserable. It just would be
Do
what
we
it
have
is.
to deal with? I don't know. I would
This
not
is
be.
what year again? How much
There's no real year to
paved
this, but
road do you think there really is?
there's no real year to this, but I gotta assume it's between 1887 and 1906.
So paved roads are a thing, but it's not like
I saw
nationwide.
no paved roads in this
I'm
film.
saying even if he's used to paved roads where he comes from in Cleveland, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm sure even still, those are just in the main cities, and once you go to the outskirts, and these cities aren't big at those times, so I'm sure they've seen dirt roads and mud all the time.
yeah, I'll agree with that.
Really
Gives
dope
us
suit, by the way. I was into the suit. I really want to know what it looks like in color.
see. I'm going to
But this
mention the
one was on
color.
black and white. I haven't mentioned that actually.
I'm going to mention the color in a second. Gets a small bottle from the saloon after the bartender looks at his change and goes from the big bottle to the small bottle. I thought that was very funny. Also, the saloon is called the Green Door Saloon. It's in black and white. Jarmusch does this a lot. Describes color so we can imagine this.
I'm looking at the suit. I would not wear the suit.
It's probably if I had to guess,
Yeah,
what it is, it's probably a gray suit with red checker.
okay, what are you saying?
The suit itself is gray. The lines of it are red or brownish.
Wrong.
What do you got?
It's the other way around.
Really?
Yeah, the suit
It's
is all red
and
with
the
the
lines are
lines
gray?
and the lines are black,
Wow.
gray, and white.
Jarmusch is a fucking master. What a
Yeah,
master thing to do.
pretty hard. It's a very Christmassy type of
Wow.
suit.
What an excellent thing to do. This period of time was a really tough one for entertaining oneself. What was there to do? No sports, no films. Yeah.
Yeah.
No sports, no films, just books and fucking. Is that all you did at this time? Drinking, books, and fucking?
Yeah, and even if you tried to get out of those, activities, it would be much to your townspeople's chagrin, as you
You'd be a
realize
weirdo.
when he gets to the saloon there, and there's a young lady walking by with a basket of flowers, and some drunk dude just says, "I liked you better when you were a whore," and throws her in the mud.
Yeah.
So that's one part about being in a mud town that would suck ass. Falling in the mud, stepping in it is one thing, but constantly being at risk of falling into mud, that blows.
The close-ups on each of their faces very striking. Jarmusch has a way of creating the sexual tension and intimacy in his films without showing you the sex. I thought that was very good. And then, why do you have this? Because this is America, referring to the gun, which I thought was two great lines. Why do you have this? Because this is America, referring to the gun. Great lines. Gabe Byrne comes back, clearly dating this woman. Blake looking away with the sheet over him, but not covering his face is very funny. Like they're arguing, and it's very funny. Yeah, it's very funny. Like he's like looking away, not
The body acting that Johnny Depp does throughout his career, really, the acting that he does with his just body language has always been superb to me. From moving
Yes,
his eyes around to the way he walks away from things and his double takes, it's always been top tier shit.
I
Very
agree with you.
Charlie Chaplin-esque.
He learned from Lloyd, Chaplin, Keaton. He learned from a lot of those folks. Even Mary Pickford. the way he moves his hands, the way he moves his shoulders, the way he moves his body. Very
it's all
interesting.
the dramatics that you just don't see anymore.
You're not going to like what I have to say to you right now, but I'm going to say it because I need to say it. I have to take another piss, and you're going to have to carry the show for a minute. Can you do that?
He in the can, man.
What can? What do you think? I got Jason Sanborn cans under me?
This is absurd.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe you. You can talk for a minute. Talk.
Well, here we are. Where are we? Oh, we're in the bedroom scene. I'm probably gonna have to repeat myself again after he comes back. But we're in the bedroom scene, and it's pretty funny. It seems as though the boyfriend of the young lady that Johnny Depp spent the night with has returned from some long journey. She was not expecting him. He had a gift in hand. They had a small conversation about how he missed her and he loved her. And he was pretty upset to see Johnny Depp in the bed. Short conversation. Then he pulls out his blicky, which is his gun to say, and he aims it at the dude and the chick, and he shot her right in the chest. And then the bullet went through her and got lodged into Johnny Depp's chest. And oh boy. Come on. Friggin' Drake. All right, let me catch you up.
Go ahead.
So you already said that they spent the night with the he spent the night with the young lady.
Mm-hmm.
So the next morning when the guy comes in, it's her former lover,
Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah, he just came back from a long journey or something to that effect.
Kills her.
He shoots her in the chest, and that bullet goes through her and gets lodged into Johnny Depp's chest, a la Iron Man. He pulls out his blicky and he shoots that guy.
Pulled out the blicky.
Yeah, he pulled out his blicky.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny Depp is like a phenomenal shot we see throughout the movie. He gets better and better.
Blows people away in one shot.
Like murdering.
Couldn't shoot anything.
Insane. Just murdering people left and right. So he he shoots the dude a couple times. Shot him in the neck, actually. He bled to death, hit the floor.
Yeah. So I will say
the guy shot him like begrudgingly. He didn't want to shoot him. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to murder you."
I have to, sort of. But I will say this: Jarmusch is always great for creating these tableaus within scenes. The way people fall, the way people move. It's like jazz. It really is. Like he's always got this way, and it's going to come back later in the movie. He's got this to stop a shot on a certain shot. He's to stop filming on a certain shot. He always has this way about him. And, people call it this is fringe filmmaking. This isn't normal filmmaking.
No.
But it also, it's influenced everyone. I mean, this style of filmmaking is now prevalent everywhere, even in mainstream blockbusters. Film like this.
It's sought after, this type of dead air filmmaking. You know what I'm saying? Where you just land on the note, like you said, like jazz. You just sit on that note.
It's a long note.
Yeah, it's a
long
note.
Process this dissonance.
Yeah.
Process this dissonance.
To do that with an artist like Johnny Depp, what a treat and what a lucky person.
Yes. To have this caliber.
To have Johnny Depp.
Yes. At this time,
nobody else could have done that.
There are very few. Very, very few at this time.
Who was his peer at the time? Like a Brad Pitt? He was a peer at the time.
Pitt
could have pulled it off. but that's only we only found that out in retrospect.
I
That he
don't
could
know
actually
because Pitt's
hold
first
his own.
movie. Pitt's first movie was 91 or 92. A River Runs Through It,
Yeah,
and I don't know that.
you don't think he had it then yet?
No, not yet. I think Val Kilmer maybe could have pulled this off. A Tom
Hmm.
Cruise. If you give Tom Cruise, no, Don, you
No,
shake your head. Tom Cruise before Nutty Buddy stuff was
but he didn't
really.
have. I don't think he
Yes,
had
he
the
did. The
the.
range. Yes, he did.
I don't think he had the comedic range yet because this has comedy in it. This is funny.
Risky Business was funny. He did that
Funny.
in '83.
I don't know if I remember that movie. To be honest with you, I don't know if I ever
Remember
saw it.
where? Okay.
I know the movie, but I don't think I ever saw it.
Think of the funny movies. He didn't really make a lot of
Anyway,
funny
moving on.
movies.
Moving
Okay.
on. Yeah. So he gets shot in the chest. Which I don't think that gun or that bullet would have been able to do
No,
that. That's insane.
no.
Through a whole body, then a little bit of the way into his body. That's wild. I mean, because like if she got shot in the neck and it went through her throat and then through his chest, that would have made sense. But she got shot in the chest and it went through her chest,
Yes.
through her back,
Towards
and
his chest.
then
Yeah.
I was like, that's a bit much.
I'll pass.
But cool. So
No.
shoot this guy up. Then he, immediately says, "I gotta get the fuck out of here."
Mm-hmm.
Grabs his shit, jumps out the window. Awesome old school Western, what do you call that? Slapstick comedy where he just fucking eats it on the floor. The
Yeah.
stuntman pretty
Yeah.
good on that. Good stuntman work. Steals a horse and kicks rocks.
Well, I have one before that is nobody pulling the bullet out of Blake. The white man's metal is beside your heart. Great line by Nobody. That's a great line.
Cool.
And if you look at Nobody's costume and you watch Johnny Depp in the horrible Lone Ranger film from 2013.
You're jumping.
Am I?
You're jumping.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
He
sorry.
just jumped out the window and he got on the horse. How do we get to Nobody?
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing.
He rides out into the fucking not really the woods. It's still kind of deserty, I guess. Because he's like out in the open when Nobody, the Native American, finds him, and he asks him. He starts running his pockets. Basically, he's like, "You got any tobacco?" Like, I don't smoke, and that's going to be a recurring line. And it's actually, and this is what I'm saying, like. Being that I know a lot of Native American lore, certain things are very important. Tobacco is not just like a treat thing. It has spiritual meaning. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like the fact that he has to keep reiterating that he doesn't smoke and he doesn't have tobacco to many people throughout this fucking movie.
Does that mean he doesn't have his key to the afterlife yet?
Exactly. It's like the gold coins on the eyes of the Greek and Roman, the river Styx, you know what I'm saying, going to Haiti.
So
same exact.
Really, when we'll get to that.
And then you see, yeah, exactly.
I was saying, if you look at Nobody's costume and you watch Johnny Depp in the horrible Lone Ranger film in 2013, it is the exact same costume. I don't know. Did you ever see that?
I think I took a glance at it. I don't really recall it. I know it was
Misery.
Yeah.
Misery is what I would say. Watching that film. Is it an all-time bad movie? No, it's probably not an all-time bad movie. It
had
a movie?
A budget, so it wasn't going to be, but so bad.
Well, it had a $300 million budget. I think made 85.
300 million? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, look at that budget. It's a big budget, giant budget, giant budget, and it didn't even come close.
Wow.
And then Armie Hammer started eating people or whatever he did.
Well,
you got to do something after the well dries up. The three gunmen are now hired by Dickinson to get Blake. Dickinson lets the boys know about the dough that's involved. This is a very nice Old West trope, I think, hiring lone guns, but bringing them together, bringing different personalities together, I think is an important thing.
You're skipping.
Yeah.
You're skipping.
I'm skipping?
So Dickinson hired these gunmen. Why? Because the dude that got shot is his son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't say that part.
Wait, you said Dickinson hired these gunmen while high?
I said why? Because the person that Johnny
Well,
Depp shot.
you can't put together that Dickinson and Dickinson are the same guy.
They never said his name. What are you talking about? They never said his name
Maybe I'm
when he
wrong.
shot him. He didn't say
I
his
could be
last name.
wrong.
He
I
said
could be wrong.
Charles or
I
whatever
could be
that
wrong. I could be wrong.
freaking guy.
That could be me being wrong. All three.
Dickinson's.
All three.
And allegedly, the chick was the guy's fiance. Who
All
gets
three.
pushed in the mud by bums at a saloon?
Yeah.
What?
You're a
You're
whore.
the
You're a whore.
fiance of the guy's. You're the fiance of the son of the guy who runs the town.
I like giving you a whore.
By bums? How does that immediately threw me
Well,
off?
that
I was
means
like,
that means the guy who runs the town's a bum. There's
clearly,
no
I
power
don't think
there
he's
either.
very respected. Like, what kind of
Yeah.
power do you have
No
if like
power
people
there
are
either.
throwing your son's girl in the fucking mud? That's weird.
All three gunmen prefer to work alone, but Dickinson doesn't care. Literally puts a shotgun up to each of them, lets them know, hey, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
They know they're working alone here. Robert Mitchum died a year after this film was released. This was his last appearance on film.
It looks like it.
Robert Mitchum. Bro.
He was a walking corpse in this film.
Robert Mitchum is one of the greatest actors who ever walked this planet Earth.
Yeah.
Just watch his Cape Fear. It destroys De Niro's Cape Fear. Destroys it. Robert Mitchum was the man. Just, he was you know how Hollywood back in the day, they wanted all tough guys and all their belts were up to their nipples because they were fat. Robert Mitchum was one of those guys, but he had the power. He had the power in his words. Everything Robert Mitchum said, you believed. The three gunmen are close now as they pass the contract letter on the ground. Nobody's still taking care of Blake. Things which are alike in nature, they grow to look alike. Did you kill the white man who killed you? What name were you given at birth, stupid white man? Great lines.
Yeah.
Great lines. And I think Jarmusch, who is a protector of film and a protector of history, really cares, but he cares in a way that isn't like Marty's epics, Scorsese's epics. He cares in a way that is fundamentally avant-garde. Like we say, it's jazz, right?
Yeah.
It's just a line here and there. But you know that Jarmusch understands the plight and wants to help and wants each character to feel everything that they're saying. Some directors, you don't get that. But with each one of Jarmusch's lines, I feel like they're very pointed. They're very heavy.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what I noticed? I don't know if you have, but just in retrospect, I think the mid 90s, and I guess it's kind of from the late 80s to the mid 90s, was very Native American centric, right? It was like one of those
Americanized, though.
Like a shit ton of them.
But it didn't feel like... So,
movie.
This felt very low in scope, right?
Yeah.
And very, very cheap in scope. But it felt more Native Americanized than any of the fucking Native American films I'd seen. It really felt like Jarmusch was trying to do something here. Trying to, like... I'm not saying make amends, but I just also feel like Jarmusch was in that Scorsese vein, trying to make it feel more, well, in this film, less palatable. This was a less palatable film, in my opinion, than Killers of the Flower Moon. This was less palatable.
Well, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
but
you should. You should.
Yeah,
We can talk about it.
I don't know if palatable the word. I would say
It's a hard movie to watch.
It's hard, but it's not the worst I've seen. It's not the worst because it's not. He's not doing things, and even I'm going to say this name,
You don't
but
think he's trying to challenge you?
I think he's being realistic. You know what I'm saying? I
But
think it's a pretty real depiction of what the attitude. I think it's still tampered down because you know who gives to me realistic versions of the errors. Hello, I'm doing a show here, man. You're killing me. My dog is going.
Hi puppy. Hi Luck.
Fucking Tarantino. Now, as much as I know you love Tarantino. As much as over the top, as his scripts may
You see
be,
my neck?
yeah,
I got spina bifida from your
I don't
sentence.
think the stuff that he says, like those time period movies that he does, I don't think it's far fetched that there was 50 million niggas thrown around.
Can I understand you? Can I understand what you're about to say? I want to. He hates blacks. He hates blacks, Don.
He hates blacks.
Yes. He likes feet. He hates blacks. He makes movies to seem cool. He's not cool. There's this aura about him. He's not a good writer.
Here's my thing. Right,
God,
yeah, fine.
all the guy wants to do is say the N-word and show women's feet.
Now, the women's feet thing is for sure. Now, is it that all he wants to do is say the N-word, or is he just peeling back a curtain and being like, hey, this is how white people talk? They really love saying the N-word.
I'll never understand it. I'll never understand it with this fucking guy. I'll never fucking understand it. And everybody's always like, when they meet me and they talk to me like, oh, you must love Tarantino. I fucking don't get it. I don't get it. I never will.
That's the perspective I've always had on it, that he's always being more of a whistleblower with all the abundance of racial slurs that are in his fucking movie. He's like, no, this is how they fucking talk. This is what they say.
I just don't understand it. I really don't. I've watched every one of this man's films because you have, if you don't like something, you have to know why you don't like something. I've watched every one of this man's films. I am perplexed at America. I am perplexed at America.
Oh, not Pulp Fiction, nothing.
Well, not Reservoir Dogs and Jackie Brown. That's it. No.
Wow.
No. You've known me, Don, and I've said this forever. I don't like this guy. It's all, I've robbed every fucking director I've ever watched, and I've made films. I've robbed Wong Kar-wai. I've robbed Kurosawa, Scorsese, John Ford, Orson Welles. I've robbed all these guys. Howard Hawks. I've robbed them all. All of them. Agnes Varda. I've robbed them all. And I've made a film starring me. I'm the one Quentin Tarantino. Because in all his films, if you notice, the last line of Inglourious Bastards is, this might be my greatest masterpiece yet. You cunt. You absolute cunt. You big old cunt. I see you, cunt.
Moving on. The comparison that I make there is not to the extreme of a Quentin Tarantino script, obviously, but I think the being very forward with what the actual mentality of that era is, what the writer or the director was trying to portray in Dead Man.
And I've also, like, and I want to say this right now. I put Jackie Brown on the November list, and Don poo-pooed it.
So it doesn't make sense. You just put it there just because.
No.
What is it related to?
I wanted to have women in film at the end of the month. You could have The Seventh Seal. You could have Jackie Brown. I think there was something else I put on there. I just can't remember right now. But
so you were sick of Native American films? That's what you were saying?
No. But I thought another minority, minority in film should be shown.
Yeah. Joe Sonic was against the name change of the Washington Redskins. He was against it.
You know, it's funny. Yesterday, before you didn't come on, I was going to do a whole Redskins thing. I'm not watching the NFL anymore. I had a whole thing planned, but you never showed up.
Well,
you never showed up.
I'm my father's son.
Can't come back from that. You found a way. You found a way. Your own triggering trouble.
This is going way too long. We gotta speed this up.
Please.
So where are we at now? He finds him. The nobody starts mending his wounds with different.
Nobody recites William Blake to William Blake, which I thought was very funny.
Which he's not the actual writer William Blake, right?
No.
Yeah. So he's mistaken him for a poet,
which you can also attribute to Native Americans getting high on peyote and all that, and thinking that somebody else is somebody else.
Well, we get the backstory later on about nobody, and he was a captured as a child, and he pretty much got shipped over to different places and got educated around white people and was enslaved, and then he got shipped over to England and was grew up over there in their educational system, and once he became an adult, he figured out his way back. He was the child of two different tribes, so he actually was not accepted by either one of these tribes, which is why he travels by himself. And which is why he has the moniker of nobody, because he belongs to nobody. He is nobody.
Yes. Nobody puts Blake's hat on and mounts to the sky, pretending to be a white man, but speaking and saying nothing, which I thought was very good. That was very good by Jarmusch. Great lines between the three bounty hunters here, where I can't remember his name, Will Conway or whatever the fuck. He fucked his parents, both of them, mother, father, both of them, parents. Fuck them. Great line.
He's saying that about Dickinson.
Yes, Cole. Conway is trying to get Johnny to turn on Cole. Every time Blake... So, if you notice this, in the fires...
Michael Wincott that plays...
Michael Wincott. Very good. Very good in this. If you notice this, which I think is a nod back to films like Bad Lieutenant and a nod back to films like Taxi Driver, Mean Streets. Every time Blake holds the gun up during the campfire scene, you see the fire while he's holding the gun up. It was very good. Did you notice that?
No.
Very good.
Cool.
And then nobody has a great line after that. This weapon will become your tongue.
Yeah.
Great line.
That was dope.
Great line. He who talks loud says nothing. Yeah. Another great line. The flashback scenes of nobody being taken by the white man are done in that silent film circle and with the blurriness. So that's Murnau, that's Lloyd, Keaton, Jarmusch really drawing from there. Nobody really is a man alone. Taken by the white man as a freak, disavowed by his people because they thought he was lying.
Yep.
Iggy Pop is the sage historian. Iggy Pop is fucking great in this movie. Making the beans with the bacon. So good. Talking about Nero and the hardships to the simpletons. Billy Bob Thornton, who was equally great in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
A real dirty person, a Philistine. Two great lines.
Billy Bob Thornton could have took the lead in this movie and still made it work. He's an interesting enough.
You mean this Blake?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't big at the time. Wasn't big enough.
No, wasn't. But if he had the opportunity, I think he could have.
I think a movie we should review in the future is 1997's The Apostle with Robert Duvall. He directed it. Billy Bob Thornton was in it with Robert Duvall. That's where Billy Bob Thornton really comes out. I mean, Dead Man... Sling Blade, not Dead Man Walking. Sling Blade, 96, 97 is where Billy Bob Thornton really comes out. But that's a movie we should also review. They are Shakespearean in a way. A bunch of Falstaffs or the Greek chorus, different accents. Strikes me that they may or may not have been lovers, these three. Do you feel that?
What?
Iggy Pop, Billy Bob Thornton, and the other guy. Do you feel that they may or may not have been in some consortium?
That went over my head.
I
think. What are you basing that on?
The language they speak to each other. It feels very domesticated.
Okay.
I just maybe that part. Just watch it again.
Yeah, I think I'll watch it again.
Yeah, it feels very domesticated, like they're in some sort of polyamorous thing. These great tableaus continue as Blake and nobody kill all three of them. Blake takes the beans, inferring that they were indeed good because if you remember that scene, they were saying that the beans were bad. Blake takes them, inferring the guy he kills, he takes his beans. I thought that was very good. Blake sees the first wanted posters of himself.
Yep.
The three gunslingers see the Rangers posters and they are pissed since they thought that they were on the jump. And Cole kills Johnny for sliding him, which I thought it's racist, for sure. It's bound in racism.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was a necessary. Did you think that was like a necessary plot point, or did you think that, I guess, to continue the three hitmen along, it was necessary?
Well, there's that, and to show the sadisticness of the character of Cole. They just told you that he fucked his parents and killed them.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Okay, that works for me. That works
Him
for me.
just killing a random black dude. It's not far fetched, I don't think, for that character.
Nobody's horse has a bloody handprint.
Yeah.
If you notice that. Was that Iggy Pop? Was that...
No, that's just what Native Americans did to mark their horses.
No. Because it wasn't there.
It might have been a blooper, but that is a pretty common thing to have a hand.
I understand that, but I know for a fact it wasn't there. Wasn't there.
Okay.
And for those of you that noticed, I did spill my beer everywhere.
Yeah.
Just all over
you have
my
a
shirt.
whole dribble stain on your sweater.
No, it's all on the floor. I'm gonna get electrocuted. This is the last podcast.
It's fantastic. Dead man.
Yeah, right. Nobody sees Blake is a dead man, sees a skeletal being. This is the first point I really saw that this is it. This is it for him.
This is when you figured out that he's clearly on his way to his demise.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, hey, you got it. Okay, you got one. I'll take the other 100.
Cole was the embodiment of death. That's what he was.
Okay.
Right? And death was following him everywhere he went.
You're saying Cole was the embodiment of death?
Yeah. He was the man in the black hat.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's a very old trope.
Well, I know what the man in the black hat is. I've written many poems about the man in the black hat. Very good. I didn't know. I just took surface value that most people had black hats back then. Very good. Where was I? The two brother sheriffs go after Blake. Not sure if they have him, but they see the horse. They might have been deputies, whatever.
Yeah.
Blake kills them and says, yes, I am. Do you know my poetry? Great.
Because they said William Blake, and he says, yes, I
am. Do you know
poetry?
Great. Great. Maybe one of the best lines to kill people.
The only thing that would have made that line better was if he would have been, suck on this.
What murder?
What murder?
No,
suck on this, man.
That really remains. I forgot about that line. Totally just a badass line. A badass smart line. Very hard to have those. Very religious tableau with Blake standing over the two brothers. It's straight out of Passion of the Joan of Arc by Carl Theodor Dreyer, which is probably a movie we should review soon. Maybe that'll be a Christmas movie because it does deal with God. Straight out of that, as far as I'm concerned. Cole kills Conway and eats him. Just eats him.
He did.
He ate that man.
Which confirmed that he ate his parents.
Yes, fucked him and ate him.
Yep.
What's worse? What's worse? It's got to be the fucking.
Yeah.
It can't be.
Like, you that man. You could have just killed him and ate him.
You fucked, and it was like he fucked them while they were dead, is what the other guy said.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Wild lines, right?
Wild stuff.
Because you didn't need to write that.
No,
that didn't do
but you did it.
We knew he was evil. We got it.
We had a good time.
We didn't need that.
I had a good time. Blake is hardened by his travails now, remonstrating that the conversation was he wanted to have. Blake sees natives in the trees, but they are the keepers in the forest and the brush. Blake happens upon two whites who were arrowed, realizes due to the bolts on his face that nobody put there, he was saved.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cole gets hit with an arrow immediately. Blake finds a shot dead doe, and he rubs its blood in his wound and on his forehead. He lays next to the dead animal to fall asleep with it, to know its velocity in a way to sympathize with it being hunted. Another excellent tableau by Jarmusch. Really just powerful. There are very few American filmmakers that have that gravitas about them, that have that knowing. I call it proving. I think of it as like real proving shots and real proving, even with music and with film and all that, it's proving. Jarmusch is a prover. He proves that he has the knowledge, the wherewithal, and he proves that he can, even if a film might be lagging at some points and you're like, where are we going?
Yeah.
The shots move. And they move you. Very important, very, very great. Very great. Blake sees nobody in a bear skin having sex with a woman in the woods. She's upset is a very funny line.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Very funny line. Then he goes
and starts cursing about this. Is another one of those parts where, like you mentioned earlier, where he didn't put any subtitles, and it was like a whole minute and a half. Excuse me. Dialogue. The woman and nobody.
Very good. Very good to cry and yawn.
It was a minute and a half dialogue in native tongue between the nobody and the woman.
And like we said at the beginning, Jarmusch did this so if native people did see this film, which he did show it to apparently every native reservation he could at the time, they loved it. They found it a comedy.
Oh yeah. This is definitely a dark comedy. Did you not see this as a dark comedy?
Yes and no. Yes and no. And I don't want to sound like a dickhead when I say this to you.
Oh boy, here we go.
How many Jim Jarmusch films have you seen other than Ghost Dog?
Ghost Dog.
I start at drama with him, and then I go to comedy. That's just me. That's just watching a lot of Jarmusch.
It's not drama.
No, I know.
Not the lack of, but I'm saying prevalent is the. It's.
I look for drama. Is what I'm saying.
Humor in here for it to not be dark comedy to me.
Okay. No, I agree with you. This is probably one of his funniest movies, and that's saying a lot about Jim Jarmusch.
Ghost Dog was funny as shit. there were certain parts in it, like his
I haven't
comedic
seen
bits
that in
in
a
Ghost
long
Dog
time.
are funny.
I haven't seen it in a long time. I can't.
The dialogue between the ice cream guy and Ghost Dog, they don't understand each other's language. They're just having their own conversation, shit like
I
that.
can't remember it. I just haven't seen
We
it.
could rewatch that one. I love that
No,
movie.
we can't.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
Why? 2000?
2001.
I don't think that's true at all.
Look it up. Could be 99. And we'd still be wrong.
March 2000. That
Hey.
blows. Well, 99 actually.
Yeah. Same. Am I
What
lying
about?
to you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That was.
So then the
So
next.
yeah. Anyway, I think it's yeah, not it's not it's what is it? Comedic tragedy, I guess, really, when you think about it.
Well, it's
You
a
know?
lot of Greek
Yeah, a lot
elements
of
to
Greek
this.
undertones,
Yeah.
obviously. There's a lot of crossover with Greek, but you're always gonna find those in different religions anyway. You're gonna find the commonalities. There's a lot of commonalities between Greek mythology and some of the Native American mythology there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But that's just happenstance. That's just because of human nature. Like most religious or spiritual, these cultures have some sort of you need money to go to the afterlife. You can't go there broke. So whether it's 2 coins on your eyeballs or some tobacco, you can't go there broke.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, there's a scam to everything in the afterlife.
Right.
You know, racket as it were. And then the next scene, he goes to the trading post, and then he trades in his sight necessarily, like because he doesn't have his glasses anymore, so he trades in his sight. That's a great little moment. Nobody lets Blake know about the white man's disease that is on the blankets in the trading post, and I looked into this a lot. I went down a real depressing rabbit hole, which I sort of knew about it. I sort of knew about it, but how far it went and who ordered it, very depressing, very sad. I didn't want to go down
George
this deep. Huh?
George Washington, he ordered it.
Yes, but it went as far as Hoover.
Oh yeah, it kept going. Yeah,
but it was just a very deep, depressing rabbit hole I went down. I was watching so when I watch a film, and again, I just want to say this, like, I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I really do want to know everything about what I watched, how I watched it, what I did. Like, when I saw Killers of Flower Moon, I ordered the book. I've been watching fucking nonstop documentaries about each of the people in that film. And I mean, what am I going to say? I was a white guy, and the Native Americans got a raw deal. What am I going to say? How could I say anything? I know they got a raw deal. It's in every film. It's in every American film that there ever was. It's even in The Shining, made by a Brit. And now that we're way past The Shining, I urge you to watch Room 237. Now you should watch it. You will find a lot of theories in that film that are some people think it's a Holocaust movie. Some people think it's it is a really deep watch.
Jewish Holocaust movie?
Yes. There's a lot in it. I don't necessarily agree with it.
I see what you mean. Okay, I can take a guess because of the portrait and all the people in there. Those are all Holocaust.
No.
Oh,
I don't necessarily agree with the theories because they're theories. They're just hyperbole, essentially. But as a film watcher, I try to think about and espouse all the theories I can. And I'll put some to the side. Like, there were some in The Shining that I was like, hey, you're crazy. You're fucking, what are you doing? but I think there are some that are very like people think that Kubrick shot the moon landing, and
I literally just heard that today. I was
because
watching a
remember
YouTube
Danny's
video.
NASA
Yeah.
sweater.
I was watching a YouTube video while I was at work today of Neil deGrasse Tyson on the Sam Roberts show.
Yeah.
And it was Neil deGrasse Tyson and one of the guys from Insane Clown Posse. Those were the guests.
That's what matters.
The juxtaposition
Don't you know?
Was amazing.
Insane
and
Clown DeGrasse.
The Insane Clown was trying to give his opinion on the existence of God. And Neil deGrasse Tyson, he talks a lot. He was pretty much interrupting him the whole time.
He went like this.
Shut up, clown. You're a clown.
No, but if you watch,
they brought that up. That's the first time I ever heard that about the Stanley Kubrick thing, and that's that he put that Easter egg in the movie to allude to the fact that he shot the moon landing,
which is bunk, in my opinion. It's bunk. It's not real. But you know what? The theories make sense. They're theories. You have to go from the fact. I don't go from the like when people go, they think theories are fact. Theories are theories, and you have to go from here to there, not from here to there. You start here, and you go outward.
Let's go from wherever that is back to this movie.
All right. They met Alfred Molina at the post, and he tried to get nobody to buy a blanket to kill him.
Yeah.
Sells Blake tobacco, but not nobody because he's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Wants his autograph on his wanted poster, but then tries to draw on him, "God damn your souls to the fire of hell." And then Blake says, "It already has." Kills Molina, kills the guy that walks in. Bounty hunter shoots Blake in the arm. Blake kills him. "I see you've collected some more of the white man's metal," says nobody. Blake leaves the horse behind, and the horse is either saying thank you or what about me? What did you read? The horse crying out when he left him. Was that like a what about me, or was that like a you're welcome? Was that a thank you for saving me?
I don't think I read into that.
It got deep, huh? Right. Cole finds the scent of nobody and Blake. Blake is bleeding out as he asks nobody, "Is this the boat that'll take me across the mirror of the water?" Great line. Another great line.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
So we got to the part where they took him, where nobody took him to that other tribe. Did you?
Not yet.
No,
not yet.
Okay, that's not where we're at yet. Okay.
The next sentence.
Okay, got it. Because that makes me go ahead. Because that makes me once we get to they get on the boat, they head over.
You think he's dead already?
No, I don't. But what did pique my interest was the art and the infrastructure of the home of these Native Americans.
I got stuff on that too.
That kind of gave me a inkling as to where this was. I think this was in Canada. I don't think this was in actual.
I didn't look. We should look. We probably should have known that. I thought Canada. I thought Oregon. I thought Washington.
It's got to be It's upper west.
Yeah,
at the northwest for sure.
It could be California. It could be California.
Not with the edifice that they chose.
Well, you got to think. You got to think, right? Oh, you think okay, but
because like different tribes had different styles.
And I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I also think that at a certain point, like you shoot where the land is available.
But those were stage built, man. That's not something that was just there.
No. I know that. I'm just saying you shoot where the land is available.
No, I'm not talking about the land, bro. I'm not talking about the.
You're talking about the infrastructure and the totem pole and all that.
The actual art of the totem poles are northwestern Pacific Indian Native American tribe arts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So all right, let's just do this.
It looks like from yeah. Just
Let's
you
just
probably
do it.
should look that up.
Yeah.
What tribe is in Dead Man?
Well, it's the Cree. It's the Cree.
Is it?
Dead Man filming and production. Washington. It's Washington and Oregon. Look at us. Look at what we did.
Because we never actually got in the beginning of the movie. They never told us where they were. They know he was from Cleveland.
When he's going through the train, it's Arizona. Everything else is Washington and Oregon.
Why would it be Arizona? Cleveland is up here.
Well, they didn't film Cleveland.
It dipped down to go back up.
They didn't film Cleveland. Oregon, Arizona. Arizona, Cave Creek, when he's going through the very beginning of the train. It's just Oregon.
I just don't understand the train route is all I'm saying.
There is no route. Don't think about it like that. They just where they filmed. But Oregon and Washington were correct.
No, dude. What I'm saying is he took a train from Cleveland to Washington or Oregon, right?
But you don't.
Why would you go as far down as Arizona?
But he did.
Why would a train do that?
He didn't start in Cleveland, Don.
Is that the idea?
The idea of the train is he's on a train ride to hell. It doesn't matter where because all these different passengers are damned.
Okay.
It doesn't matter where he's coming from, where he's going. It's all going to the same place.
Moving on.
Wants his autograph, kills Melina, bounty hunter shoots Blake in the arm. Blake leaves a horse behind. Cole finds the scent of the two men. Blake is bleeding out. Mirror the water. The elk, the totem pole, these are the gates to the village, and they reach nobody's home now. The comparison to the beginning of the film, walking through a different place, now he's a different man, a changed man. Remember, at the beginning of the film, he was a pussy, walking through this western town, didn't know what to do. Now he's walking through the gates. These are the gates. And now he's hardened. So he's got an idea. The structure they walk into, the tribunal, I said, very fucking cool. How I know it's supposed to be the spirits opening and closing the doors and all that. It was just very cool. It was just, that's another just Jarmuschian way. All the natives are around him now, and he's floating in and out of consciousness. Blake wakes up alone on the beach in Native American garb next to a canoe, and he's dying. Nobody is sending him off on the canoe with the cedar boughs. Time for you to leave now. Time for you to go back where you came from. The tobacco is for your voyage, William Blake. And then and he says, no, but I don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Great, just perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
You knew it was coming.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You knew it was coming. You were waiting for it, but it was a wanted line, not a here we go.
Yes. Nobody in Cole.
Like, say the thing.
Right.
Say it.
Nobody and Cole kill each other in the final standoff. Blake dies, floats away to the hereafter. On rough seas to smooth seas to rough seas to the light in the sky opening up. And that's the way the film ends. I gave this a 4.1 out of 5.
I enjoyed this more than I thought I would because I love mythology and lore. I love the clashing of cultures. I love the exploration of spirituality. And I loved that it had comedy that landed.
Still lands.
Yeah, still lands. Still holds up.
28 years.
Yeah. I would give it a 4.67.
Wow.
It's pretty. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't
really
think you would
enjoyed it.
like this as much.
Nah,
I thought you.
but I love Johnny Depp though. There's not really much that I could see of him that I wouldn't like.
I thought you.
But
I thought you would find fault in this.
um, I think the sincerity of the director and the writer came through very clearly through the scripting,
I'm saying
through the framing, through the cinematography.
we
I
should.
thought it was it didn't feel ham-handed.
No,
It didn't feel it didn't feel like it was
it felt like he asked.
it didn't feel like it was kissing ass. You know
No,
what I'm
it felt
saying?
like he asked.
Or
It felt.
it didn't feel like a white savior film at
No.
any point. It was zero white savior in this.
Which Killers of the Flower Moon will feel like a white savior film to you.
Oh yeah.
It will.
You know, so
it will.
that's kind of what I was expecting, not knowing anything about this film. Didn't read a synopsis before I saw the film. I just said, I'm going to pop it in. I was fully expecting white savior bullshit. But now there is the trope of, magical brown man, magical Negro with the nobody, right?
Sure.
Spirit guides, and, white people having other human beings be their guiding spirits and shit. And when they really don't deserve it. Nobody doesn't know this guy from a hole in the wall. There was no reason as to
save
why
this guy.
to save this guy, right? There's nothing about him that said, I need to save this guy. Now, you're supposed to read into it and understand that even nobody was on his own journey, obviously, right?
Yes.
So
he was an outcast as well.
He was an outcast
Two
as well.
outcasts.
This was part of his journey.
Which is why this is a Jim Jarmusch film. Mm-hmm. You watch Jim Jarmusch films and it's all outcast. It's all burdened by society types. It's all folks that don't fit anywhere.
And the only thing I could take points off of is that I didn't necessarily enjoy the one note of the Neil Young score.
You're bugging.
I didn't hate it, but I would have loved to have something else. And I just wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting it to be literally the one note throughout the whole movie, from cutscene to cutscene. I wasn't expecting that. I think it probably would have taken away from it had there been a whole bunch of other tracks and shit like that. It probably would have taken away from the film. It wasn't. I'm not saying it was necessary to have other shit. I'm just saying what they went for. I get it, but it gave me, like I said, Sam Raimi vibes, and I don't really care for Sam Raimi stuff most of the time.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I've never really watched any Sam Raimi. I can't give you a lot of insight on that. What I can say that took away from me is not using the incendiary actors enough, not using Gabriel Byrne enough, not using John Hurt enough, and at a certain point, not using Mitchum enough. I mean, I know Mitchum was old and okay.
Yeah.
But at this point, and I like Johnny Depp. I always like Johnny Depp. Asking him to carry this type of film, he can't. He can't do. And this is coming from somebody that really likes Johnny Depp. You know, one of my favorite films, which we can't review, sadly. You ever see Chocolat?
Yes.
Johnny Depp, killing it. Blow.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I know I saw it. I know I saw it.
He was great in Blow.
Yeah.
He was great. Black Mass is an all-time performance. It's an all-time performance as Whitey Bulger.
Yep. But this is, him at his
it's
early years.
It's quirky. So. Yes. But because I'm one of the few people that'll tell you I don't really like Donnie Brasco that much. I don't think it's a great movie. But
I think it needed to be a subdued performance, though. I don't know how much I would have been into it had we got like Pirates of the Caribbean Johnny Depp in this. You know what I'm saying? Like
I only
nobody
saw
needs,
the first one. I don't know. I don't know too much
you
after
know.
that.
It's he does phenomenal as Jack Sparrow. It's quirky, it's crazy, it's kooky and shit, but like
It's Keith
nobody
Richards.
could do that. Right.
Right.
Like he was playing a weakling who
Like
could really shoot the shit out of people without even thinking about it for some reason.
what's eating Gilbert Grape? Fantastic.
Mm.
Benny and June, fantastic. I'm trying to think what else. I gotta go through the whole thing now, I guess. Let me look.
Was he in that movie? Was it Scorpion or something like that? What's the one that had the scorpion leather jackets?
Sicario? I don't know, Scorpion.
It was like a bunch of teenagers. They all had the racing leather jacket.
Oh. The Outsiders?
Yeah, that
No. He wasn't there for that.
Oh, that wasn't him?
No.
Was it the Coreys, right?
No, that was Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. We could watch that one.
You don't want to.
Anywho, yeah. So 4.7 for me. Solid, good choice.
Fear and Loathing.
Fear and Loathing.
Oh
Yeah,
my
of
God,
course.
we could watch that. 1998. We could totally watch Fear and Loathing.
Yeah. So that is Dead Man by
Ed Wood. Ed Wood. Great Ed Wood. You haven't seen Ed Wood?
I don't know.
Oh, great. Yeah. Jim Jarmusch. Fantastic. Did you I didn't recast this.
No, if you were to do it on the fly, I mean, it's too many people.
Sam Rockwell for every role.
Timothy Chalamet.
He told me to go fuck myself today.
I saw that. What was that about? Why
That's why I
don't you
brought it
do
up.
Timothy Chalamet?
Well, I was in Central Park waiting for Lynn. She works up in the Upper East Side. And I saw him. There was a big SUV. And it had Jersey plates. So I was like, oh, this is going to be somebody. Because anytime you see an SUV with Jersey plates, it's going to be somebody. And he got out surrounded by like 6 big black dudes. And I thought maybe he was doing a Gucci shoot, but he's also hosting SNL this week, so it could be a sketch for that. And he gets out of the car, takes 2 steps, and I said, "Hey, Timothy, way to go ruining the French Dispatch." And he just told me to go fuck myself.
That seems like
But
an
then
appropriate
we went on you know what? And then we went about our lives. And if there's anything we could all learn from this, just go about your lives.
Go fuck yourself? Or was it like, hey, go fuck yourself, man? Like, was there disdaining, or
It
was
was
just a matter?
because he's a New Yorker. I got to give Timothy Chalamet credit that he is born and raised. Yeah, he's born. He's in Manhattan, but he's a New Yorker.
Oh.
He did it while walking, which was very.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yep. Yeah, it was a go fuck yourself. And I went.
Well, that solidifies my choice. Timothy Chalamet or
Sam Rockwell.
Childish Gambino. Donald Glover. I would put him in this.
Who? Okay.
You have not seen Atlanta.
I haven't.
Once again,
It's true.
So you don't know anything about his acting.
I don't. Okay.
You know zero.
Who would you choose to redirect this film?
Oh, to redirect.
It doesn't have to be a modern director. Let's just do all time.
All time?
Yes.
I don't know, man. This is a very specific way of directing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want
Yes.
it to be this.
Yeah, I could.
So you're saying it would have to be different?
Yes. Well, I mean, I could keep Jarmusch.
Or who could elevate it? If you want to think about who could do exactly this, but perhaps a little bit better. I don't know, man. Tim Burton. I would be interested in seeing the Tim Burton version of this.
Oh, thank God.
Darker, creepier. Yeah.
I would be interested in Harmony Korine.
What did they do?
He made Julian Donkey.
That was a very gender neutral name. I was a Harmony.
Harmony Korine, yeah.
Yeah, how the fuck was I supposed to guess what that was?
He made Julian Donkey Boy. He made Spring Breakers, Mr. Lonely, Trash Humpers, Gummo, which is a movie we should review. Gummo.
I don't know any of these.
Well, he's one of the greatest American filmmakers ever. He's another fringe, or Gus Van Sant. He made Good Will Hunting. He made Elephant. He made Last Days. My Own Private Idaho.
Who did Revenant? Scorsese?
No, Inarritu.
Inarritu. I would like that guy.
Could.
He could do this.
He could. Yeah, could.
But it would be wider and bigger in some
Yeah, it'd be bigger in scope.
It'd be bigger in scope. He would really get a feel of these tribes and the nature surrounding and the sound engineering.
I'm with that.
That would be my pick.
I'm with that. I could see that for sure.
Yeah, that would be pretty ill.
All right, this has been an hour and 36 minutes.
This is almost longer than the movie.
Nest of the Mohicans, 3 hours and 30 minutes next.
Review, 25 minutes.
2 words. Hated it.
Is that the next movie? We're doing Last of the Mohicans next?
Yeah. We said we were going to go backwards.
Okay.
Yeah, Last of the Mohicans, then Powwow Highway, and then Cheyenne Autumn. Close it out.
It'd be a good time.
Thank you, friends.
This was rough.
This was a rough one.
We'll fix it in post.
This is our 5th try.
Review.
Over 2 days.
Yeah, man. I'm your host, Don Vega. See you next time.
Joe Sonnenblake. See you.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ta. I say words last.